Best of r/confessions episode 11. Subscribe for edit videos daily. After 5 years of going to the gym I finally quit. I used to be flat as a board and wormy. At some point I realized I neither look good nor am I healthy. I've always despised both sport and working out, but I face the fact that the only way to become physically fit is to do physical exercise. I joined the gym in my neighborhood and started going twice a week. I couldn't go more often than that because of my other obligations. It started paying off quickly enough. After 5 years of training, I'm satisfied with myself. I have a fit body that I'm proud of. However, no matter how much the gym did for me, I hated every second of it. It's not the exercise that I disliked as much as I disliked the entire experience. I hated losing time. I hated going to the same place over and over again. I hated the small talk with my trainer. No matter how nice he was and no matter how comfortable I was, at times, I was so unhappy and wanted to stay home so badly, that I cried. And still I kept going, knowing that it was simply an obligation. People have to do things they hate every day and I am no different. During quarantine and the stay-at-home orders, the gym closed and I had to train at home. I realized that I've memorized all my exercises. I did them more than twice a week. It was convenient because I didn't lose nearly as much time. It made me realize that I was capable of doing it on my own. Not only that, but I enjoyed it, playing my own music, enthusiastically using all the weights and the bench I normally never use. After the stay at home was done, the gym opened up again. I can't explain the miserable feeling that hit me when I got the text message. I kept delaying returning to the gym, the thought of it making my stomach turn. Today I took my phone to text my trainer and ask about the first available term. Then I stopped and realized just how much I despise this. I thought about why I should make myself unhappy. I started doing this because I felt I had to. I was terrified of stopping and returning to my previous state from 5 years ago. Today I finally realized I owe myself to find a better solution. I owe myself to take care of my body in a way that doesn't jeopardize my mental state and happiness. There are a million ways to do what you want to do. You just need to want it. So instead of coming back, I apologized, texting him that I won't be returning. Right now I'm about to grab my gym equipment and work out at home. I've never felt this euphoric about exercising. Thank you. Next. My 4-year-old said I hate you and I cried. I didn't cry in front of her. I could have so she could have understood that she hurt my feelings. But I just said, well, I love you. After she was in bed I broke down. I'm a 100% single mom. She isn't my first but she is my last. And I just wasn't prepared yet to hear her say those words yet. It hasn't been easy thus far. I don't have any personal relationships because I just wanted to make sure I give my kids 100% of mom and I'm stuck turning to Reddit to whine to because I don't have a boyfriend to do that with. LOL. And even after giving them 100% they still hate me. LOL. It's been a shitty night but hey, it's been 173 days since I've had a beer and my 4-year-old saying she hates me isn't enough to make me fuck that up. It's enough to make me cry though. Totally enough to make me cry. Thank you. Next. I was raped at age 7. It was the only time in my life that my mom had to get a job outside the home, because daddy was drinking all his paycheck. The babysitter she left me and my brother with had a teenage son, and he had a video game system in his room. I'd spend all day playing games. He would sit behind me rubbing my shoulders, and eventually started rubbing my back under my shirt. Then one day, he started rubbing my non-existent breasts, then my thighs, then a finger under my shorts leg. It felt good, and nobody had ever told me about sex. I just knew what he did felt good, and that it was a secret. Finally, he began fingering me, and then it gradually became him fucking me every day, sometimes several times a day, always on this faux fur rug. I hate faux fur to this day. I've told my husband, but never have told my mom. Because I don't want her to feel guilty for leaving me with a sitter. Thank you. Next. I hate my fucking neighbors. They get a new puppy every 6 months or so and something always fucking happens. This morning I woke up to their newest puppy in the middle of the road not being able to move because it was hit by a car. I had to move it back into their yard, but I couldn't knock on their door because their older dog was on the porch and I wasn't going to risk getting bit. I fucking hate them. Why have animals if you're not going to properly care for them? Why continue to get more puppies and not get an electric fence or something? Jesus fucking Christ, I'm so upset. My boyfriend and I have 3 dogs of our own, and if they're outside, one of us is outside with them. Even though they're all old enough and understand the property line, it's still not something I'm willing to risk. My neighbors are fucking idiots and I fucking hate them. Thank you. Next. For the first time in almost a year, I felt so good about how I'll look even if I got someone in trouble. This past Saturday, I went on a date with my it wasn't our usual get coffee and play some Pokemon Go together date. It was give the baby to grandma for an evening and hit the town kind of night. I did my hair and makeup incredibly well. Wore an outfit I know he loved, even if it was a little high on my thighs. We traveled through town for bookstores and game shops, had a romantic dinner and plenty of other fun. This entire weekend he was so zoned in. I got someone in trouble on the way to one of the bookstores, which makes me feel less guilty than it made me feel attractive. Walking to one of the bookstores, crossing the street, a couple about our age was stopped. The boyfriend's eyes got wide and his girlfriend did a light backhand to the chest and a glare so hot you could melt the sun. I feel bad for the guy, but I took it as a personal win. I dress in 4XL sweaters and jeans at a 5'7" 145 pounds. I hide. I wear PJs most of the time because I'm a stay-at-home mom who lives to clean. Last weekend, I dolled up. My partner wanted to jump my bones for 2 days. Someone got an earful from his girlfriend for checking me out. It was a great goddamn day. Thank you. Next. I decided not to commit suicide when I was 14, but a part of me died that day. I wanted to get this off my chest, to tell my story at least once. I feared it may have been too long, so here's a bit shorter version. I grew up being told that there are many more people less fortunate than me, so I have no right, no complaint, and should be happy with what I got. I was a boy in a fatherless household, always being told to man up and that boys don't cry. My family would always spoil my younger female siblings and forget I ever existed. Since I was the eldest and a boy, I had to grow up faster to take up the position as the man of the house. So I studied hard to the point I skipped a grade and got a scholarship, hoping that it would please my family and earn me praise. But it was never enough. Rather, it was never really anything at all. But I continued doing good. My teachers and classmates praised me, which I valued a lot. I wanted to do anything and everything that would get me praise and attention. With the help of my teachers, I got a scholarship into a prestigious school. But in this school I was just like everybody else. Nothing I did got me recognition, so I was sent back to reality. I started doing poorly, and every time exam results and quarterly gradings show up, I would get scolded and berated by my family because they fear I might lose the scholarship granted to me and they couldn't afford the tuition. I did eventually lose the scholarship after my first year in high school, so I would have to move schools again. Note, from where I am from, it's grades 1, 6 then 4 years of high school. Here's where I plan to commit suicide. There was this old abandoned hotel my school bus would pass by during the commute. During summer break I explored the building to kill time since I'm basically unwanted around the house. One day I got around to exploring the rooftop. It was there I remembered I had a fantasy that if I'm ever going to kill myself, it would be by jumping off a tall building or a cliff. So I sat on the edge thinking, this is it, why not? It's as good as it gets, I thought to myself. So I stood up and I just stood there as if I was waiting for a signal to jump or a sign not to do it. I stood on the edge for about half an hour or so, and the longer I stood the harder I asked myself, why? Why am I doing this? Why wasn't I good enough? Just why? I moved away from the edge after what felt like an eternity. I remember feeling a deep hatred towards everything for leading me to this point. I broke down crying what I presumed tears of rage. After I calmed down I went back to the lobby while the sun was still up because it was the only light source inside the building. I sat down on the stairs to the entrance for a while, pondering what should I do. I wanted to run away, but I had no means of providing for myself. That would mean I would just die off slowly, so why didn't I just jump to make it quick? So for the next 3 years while I was finishing high school, I worked part-time, saving up all the money I could. I would steal and pickpocket money from anywhere and anyone just as long as I can get my hands on it. During the 3 years, I will admit my family started treating me better, even to go as far as to bring me gifts and finally make a celebration during my birthday. But I didn't want any of it, and every time they tried to win my affection I resented them more and more. I was furious. I wanted to ask them, why now? After all this time, what made you have a change of heart? It's too late, I wanted to tell them. After I graduated high school when I was 17, I finally ran away and cut off all contact from my family. I took most of my clothes, my birth certificate and diploma, as well as the money I had saved and stolen for the past 3 years. I rented a room in a college dormitory as it was my cheapest option, though I never went to college. I started to find work in a fast food restaurant and after some time got a second job as a construction worker. I am 23 now and a branch manager at that same fast food restaurant by day and a call center agent at night. If you have taken the time to read a stranger's story like myself, then I sincerely thank you. I hope you find something worthwhile in my story. Thank you. Next. I just cried because someone asked me how I am. I don't know if this is a confession, but I really need to get this off my chest. No one ever asked me how I am or how I feel. If I'm feeling good, safe or happy, I didn't really care anymore at some point because I knew that no one was going to ask me how I am. There is this app which helps people to control addictions and / or stay sober. I posted there because I have problems with stuff like self-harm and I also want to help people. Ask them how they feel and if they want to talk. Today there was this girl, and she asked me how I feel, if I'm happy and if I feel safe. I immediately started crying and felt like someone cared about me and my feelings. It was sad for me to realize that a simple question like how are you made me cry. So, always remember to ask people how they feel, sometimes it means a lot for them. Thank you for reading. I apologize for mistakes. I'm German and English is hard for me to learn. Stay safe.